Hello and welcome to a special bonus edition of the CX Files podcast. I'm your host, Mark Hillary. Last year, I spoke at a conference in Las Vegas called CX Outsourcers. It was hosted by Peter Ryan of Ryan Strategic Advisory in Canada and Mark Angus, the Chief Executive of publishing company Knowledge Executive in Johannesburg, South Africa. They're planning the second CX Outsourcers event this March in Windsor, UK, which is very close to London and is also the home of Queen Elizabeth, so perhaps a visit to Windsor Castle might be on the agenda there. I spoke to Mark Angus and asked him what's so special about the CX focus of this event. So let's go straight to the interview and hear from Mark now. Okay, Mark. So I attended the first CX Outsourcers in Las Vegas last year, and it was a very interesting event. And I know that you're hosting the next one in March this year. And this event is a bit different from the average conference. I mean, especially the customer service conferences where we normally see a lot of keynote experts and panel discussions. I mean, could you tell me a bit more about what the event is about and what the format is like?
Thanks a lot. Yes, so basically, CX Outsourcers is a mindshare group. In many ways, it's similar to some of the world's leading mastermind clubs that we see in different thought leadership areas. The events are just a series in a broader program of different engagements that we've been rolling out for the group where business process outsourcing, BPO, and CX executives can be equipped with some of the latest research and strategy and content and best practice that we put out. So what makes our event different? Very good question. Well, for one, they are exclusive closed-door sessions for some of the world's largest and emerging BPO organizations. So we don't invite anyone else except outsourcers and then global analysts and influencers in this space. And then secondly, we get them to think differently and to share their opinions and forecasts. It's very much a two-way conversation and interaction in the process. So we run executive roundtable sessions and open forums with regards to where the CX market is going and how to address their pain points and challenges and also optimize successes. And all of this is recorded, and then we share this with them in special reports post-event.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's interesting because I suppose most of these conferences tend to focus on the buyers, so the people who are buying the contact center services, for example, because they're the people who've got the big budgets.
That's right. Yeah.
You're focusing a lot on the people who are actually delivering the CX services. So what's the strategy behind that?
Yeah, Mark, thank you. When Peter and I decided to launch CX Outsourcers, we knew from the outset that the insights we delivered would be deep drill-down content. We want to deliver really good stats, research, and strategy for the eyes of outsourcers only. And in order to do this and to deliver real value, we needed to keep the subject matter and the content focused on this one niche group so we could really dig deep and go beyond. So our overall strategy is to build the Mindshare group into a really meaningful engagement, knowledge leadership and advisory platform backed by the latest global research we put out, and then further supported by some of the world's best analysts, influencers, and subject matter experts like yourself.
Okay, but then that means that you're essentially going to get a lot of competitors together in one room. So how do you get them to openly share these ideas when there might be companies that are competing with each other? I mean, why would they help each other at this conference and not in their sort of day-to-day general working life?
Yeah, you would think that when competitors are in a room, they wouldn't want to share or participate at all. But we found the opposite is true. The people that attend CX Outsourcers are generally interested in helping the industry as a whole to progress forward. They obviously don't share confidential strategies or trade secrets, but they do share on pain points, best practice, global buying trends, transformation, and then hot topics and industry developments. What's interesting is that when you have the collective brain power of all these knowledge leaders, understand that they're some of the world's sort of senior leaders in the BPO space in one room. It's really amazing to see the insights that are revealed and how they all want to co-share and collaborate. And then you start to see that human nature takes over and they want to help because they know that that a strong industry equals strong business growth for them in the long run.
Okay, so there is everybody gains from helping each other, essentially.
Totally. Yeah, it's a progressive effort. Yeah, so we were very at first we were quite nervous when we put this together, and we thought, what would happen when we get all these competitors into one room? Would there be a bun fight of sorts? But quite the opposite. A lot of collaboration, a lot of general respect, and willingness to collaborate and to work together as well. So we also saw from the event a lot of matchmaking taking place, and a lot of collaboration that came out of the event, post-event, as a result, where some strategic partnerships were formed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. Is there going to be any specific area of focus, or is it just CX in general? I mean, do you have any research or new insights that you're going to be publishing?
Yeah, so each event, what we try and do is to really develop those really deep dive insights. So the March event that's being held in Windsor, UK, will have a great lineup of speakers and experts, plus some very pertinent subject matters and areas that they'll be covering in the executive roundtables. There will be some really great forward-thinking new research delivered on the front office BPO market, buyer investment priorities, service provider requirements, and top global offshoring locations. We'll also be covering hot topics such as cybersecurity and cutting-edge omni-channel delivery. And then we'll also be revealing insights into some of the latest trends in emerging verticals and offshore locations, as well as what the consumer of the future will look like. One of our keynotes is also going to cover customer experience in the age of Brexit. Now, that's a very pertinent area right now, what's going on in the UK, and it's top of mind for many outsourcers, indeed many global businesses. And then the executive roundtables, the executive roundtable sessions where the delegates get to share and to basically give us their opinions and foresight and predictions for the year ahead, will cover areas such as home agents, information security, AI and robotic process automation, and buyer requirements. So yeah, we do try and ensure that each event really delivers some very specific focus areas and really great insights and new insights as well from event to event.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. And you mentioned Brexit there, and of course the event is in March in the UK, which is when Brexit is taking place. So
just a few days before. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be quite interesting. The event's being held on the 25th and 26th of March, and I think the Brexit is supposed to happen by the 29th.
Yeah, that's if it does actually happen. So assuming it does happen and the planes are still flying to the UK, then how can the listeners to this podcast get more information about the event in the UK then?
Well, thanks, Mark. They can email me directly. So my email address is mark@knowledge-executive.com, or they can go to the Knowledge Executive website. And on the front page of the website, there's a tab to the CX Outsourcers pages, which will explain more about the event and also how they can secure a pass to the event itself.
Thanks for listening to the CX Files podcast. Please take a moment to review the podcast because this helps other listeners to find it. And if you have any suggestions, then get in touch with me on Twitter or LinkedIn. I am @Mark Hillary with 2 L's, or just search Google for Mark Hillary.